Okay, then we have one concept, malicious prosecution and abuse of process. While the two claims are similar, malicious prosecution and abuse of process have certain differences. A plaintiff can sue for abuse of process when the defendant starts legal proceedings with the intention of obtaining results for which the process was not designed. As in, a certain process, legal process is designed so that parties get justice. It's not designed that he will like affect reputation of another person, or he will not get a job or something. For that purpose, legal process is not set, right? But for that purpose, it is being used. So legal process is being used for something for which it's not even been designed. That's nothing but abuse of process. A plaintiff can sue for malicious prosecution when defendant maliciously prosecutes a criminal case, or use civil proceeding against the plaintiff when the defendant knows he or she does not have a case. In addition, the plaintiff must have already obtained a favorable termination. Court also terminated the matter. Court dismissed the case or acquitted him of defendant's malicious case. The case was dismissed, or there was a ruling in plaintiff's favor. For example, before he or she can sue for malicious prosecution, it has to happen that court has decided the matter that yes, the person is not guilty. The person is discharged of all the charges. Okay, he is not guilty. That has to be there. It should not be that cases filed, cases pending, and person is simply going to the court and filing a case that there is malicious prosecution. How can you conclude it's malicious prosecution? Court has to take a decision for that. Okay. A legal process can be any part of a lawsuit, not simply the entire lawsuit. Now, when we see a case being filed, right, there are, apart from the main case, there are a lot of things that go on. Like there are interlocutory applications being filed. There are applications being filed for disposal of property, sale of property, seizure of property. So many other processes are there because a case goes on for years altogether, right? So in between also you can file different applications, different matters for different things. Okay, so legal process as such should not include like the main case, but all these other related things which you claim, right? Those also would be included. Okay, so CPC and CRPC, I think you have not yet got that, right?
No, ma'am.
No, yes. So when you read CPC and CRPC, you would come to know it's not just like one case that is being filed. There are a lot of things that happen during pendency of the case. Okay, so all these things also will be included over here when we say legal process.
Okay, ma'am.
For example, a defendant's personal injury lawsuit might have been legitimate, but the use of particular disposition or other smaller discrete aspect of the lawsuit might not have been. Like the main case might be proper, actually it has happened, but you are abusing some other processes, like in between whatever applications you are filing in court, whatever things you are doing, right? That was not proper. Maybe with a bad intention, you filed a case for seizure of property of a person, that his property must be seized, right? Or might be that this person should be arrested, this person's bail should be cancelled. So many things happen, right? So that also would be included, that your main case was proper, but in between you had malicious intention and you are trying to abuse the legal process there. Even though the lawsuit was valid, the plaintiff can still sue for abuse of process based on this. Whatever in between things happen, those are illegitimate. Okay, those were like wrong things which were being filed before the court. So based on that also, person can take the relief. It's not like the okay, main case was proper, so in between things we can ignore, not like that. So what is improper purpose? Okay, requirement in an abuse of process claim is that although the defendant had a technical right to use the legal process, he or she did not extort something else from the plaintiff. For example, trying to tie up property in a divorce proceeding in order to get the other spouse to agree to different child visiting rights. It's worth noting that abuse of process claims not notoriously different from the proof. So sometimes it might happen that you are trying to use it in such a way that, okay, in between whatever processes happen, right, you are trying to make use of those processes to make the other person suffer or to take some other benefit for which this process was not being made. Okay, like take for example, when we talk about something like cancellation of bail, okay, then disposal of property, might be some property is in custody of the court, okay, and you know that this property is something which is, you know, like rare to find, and the other person might be benefited if he gets the possession. So what you do is, before the case is decided, okay, you go to court and say that this property is something which will get damaged, okay, it is not something which will remain good for a longer time. Like if we take the example of something like edibles, right, some fruits, vegetables, it will remain fresh for a certain while only, right? Like that, there might be certain properties which are taken by court, and you go to the court with a bad intention, wrongfully saying that this property is something which will get damaged, so let's sell this property off. As in, you have a bad intention that this other party should suffer, his property should get sold for a lesser price or something, so that he is not able to perform maybe some other agreement. As in, you have a bad intention with that, you are filing those in between applications. All right, so that is what is important that we need to prove. It's not like the main case is proper means we can escape the liability. Okay. So malicious prosecution and abuse of process are related types of civil lawsuits where one person, that is the plaintiff, sues another person, that is the defendant, for in a prior case trying to use legal system against the plaintiff in an inappropriate manner. So inappropriate manner and the presence of malice is what is very much required. Okay, if malice is there, as in it is something which is not proper and court would not recognize, because when we talk about legal process, right, those legal processes are established in order to give some sort of a remedy or to address some kind of a problem. If you are trying to take some other benefits from it, it is not right, because you have a bad intention over there. Okay, is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.